What's up, everybody? Getting ready to go to the bakery blitz again. Taking the Red Rocket. It's pouring rain outside, off and on. I'm hoping that when I leave, it's off. I am not looking forward to 20 miles in a torrential downpour, but the main line of the rain that's been coming through seems to be past where I live. It was coming down really hard around 4 in the morning, and it seems to be easing up now, and I don't have to leave until 6 in the morning, or 6:30 in the morning, which is about 45 minutes from now. So what's up? It's your boy Adam, and chaos to come back once again. I don't know why I do this. Like, I'll give you the intro and then I'm like, look over to the side. Like, I'm like waiting for someone to come barging through the door or something. I don't know. It's just a weird tick I've got right now. I'm sick and tired of so many things that I don't know. I can't fight the ticks and the weird things. I can't. I almost can't even speak a coherent sentence anymore, especially early in the morning. I have to ride. I saw a video yesterday that I shot sitting at the park, and I already know someone's going to leave a comment when that goes live. Booger in my fucking nose. And I'm kind of looking up instead of like, I'm lazy. I don't want to hold my arm up in the air. It's like the big girls on dating apps. They all hold their camera up like this in their picture, and then they pull their shirt down and have cleavage hanging out. But it's always from like the high angle. Anytime you see that trickery going on a dating app, you already know what that means. But here I am. I can't stop my ticks, and I don't know. Really don't got much to talk about other than if you got faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain, go this way, go that way. You can throw a mountain into the sea, according to Jesus. My faith isn't that big, but it seems like when I ask God to keep the rain away, it's been working lately. I mean, it's one of the things. So on my bike ride home Saturday, I was feeling really down about everything that's going on. And I was tired. And there was a pretty good headwind during part of the ride, not the beginning of the ride, but towards the end of the ride. The headwind got to the point where it might have been 15. I mean, it felt like it was 20 miles an hour. It was ripping straight at me on the last stretch home. But when I sat at this park on a swing and talked to you guys, there was no wind at all. But I think it was just being blocked by the trees or whatever. But when the general direction of the wind was in my face the whole way home. But on the last stretch, I was only about 5 miles away from home when I sat on that bench to talk to you guys. When I got on the bike trail, it wasn't, there was a little bit of wind. But when I got off the trail and headed south for the last 3-4 miles, whatever it is, I think it's like, I don't know, let's call it 4 miles, but maybe less, maybe 5. I don't really remember. I don't know. Normally it takes about 20 minutes. It took forever to go that last stretch because the wind felt like it was 20 miles an hour pushing me backwards. I could only go about 9 miles an hour the whole way on that last stretch. Normally I'd do that stretch at 15, 20 miles an hour. So it was hard to It was just, I just want to be home at that point. And it's like just one last dig. But at the end of the day, it really didn't matter. I got home. And when I got home, it like didn't even matter to me. But at some point on that ride, I was having the speaker malfunction again. It comes out of nowhere. It makes no sense. I've got these two speakers, JBL. There's an app that's supposed to allow them to play simultaneously, but it doesn't work. But I have an old phone that allows you to play two Bluetooth devices at the same time. And so it normally works just fine. I can go to work, back from work, to work, back from work. It's gotten to the point where I can do that ride like 4 or 5 times without any issues whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, I'll be riding along and the speakers go out of sync. And it's bad. It sounds horrible because they'll be about a second apart. And then I'll look down. It's always the same thing. I look down at the one speaker, the Flip 5, and this white light that's like this ring around the interface is blinking and flashing. And there's nothing in the instruction manual. Of course not. Why would modern software and modern devices tell you what that means? Nobody fucking knows what YouTube doesn't know, Google doesn't know. Nobody knows what it means when this white light starts flashing on the side of the speaker. But when it does, the speaker is out of sync with the other one. And a lot of times I can just hit the pause button on the handlebar speaker and hit it again and it takes care of it. Well, this time, Friday or Saturday, no matter what I did while I was riding my bike, the speaker would not stop flaking out. And finally I was like, fuck you, you motherfucker! I was so fucking pissed because I was just already like in that space in my head of just being angry about all of this shit. And it was all that took was my music getting interrupted to set me off. So I was like, yo. So I get on the bicycle paths to chill instead of being on the road. I decided to, well, then I'm riding down the bicycle paths. There's all these Griswold families with their little kids everywhere, and like the bicycle path is all clogged up and I can't. So I'm like, fuck this. I get off the bicycle path, I get back on the road. And at the next intersection, and I'm like, fuck that. And then I rode a little ways to where I have to make a turn to go south. I got back on the bicycle trail. Didn't see another person. Far enough away from the core of the woodlands at this point that I think I saw a father and son riding on some mountain bike trails, but there wasn't anybody on the bike path. And I get to the end of the bike path. But while I was on that bike path, I started doing the 10 things to be thankful for. Because I figured maybe the speaker's glitching out and the fact that I couldn't make it stop. And it hadn't done this for weeks. I mean, it just happens on a note. It doesn't make... The only thing I can think of is I have a Velcro strap that I use to keep the speaker held tightly in the water bottle cage so it won't rattle around and it won't flop out. And it seems to me like if I tighten that strap down too tight, it seems to have an effect with this problem. Like there's a button on the speaker that might be getting hit. Just like going over a bump or something, and it sets the speaker into a mode where it goes out of sync. It's the only thing I can think of that's possibly doing that might be this problem. It's the only thing that makes any sense at all. And maybe I tightened the speaker down too much before I left the bakery that day. Shit. Now I have to go and edit the video and make sure that I don't say the name of the bakery where I work. The reason why I don't say the name of the bakery is because of people like, like the swatters. Like how people get swatted when they say things that the Democrats don't like. So I don't need to get swatted at the fucking bakery where I work at. I don't need anybody to know. Or you'll get something like, if I told you, I'll never tell you where I'm working. Never. It won't be on my LinkedIn for the rest of my life. The only way that a place that I'm working will go on LinkedIn is after I'm done working there, it'll show up on LinkedIn. Because what the fuck do I need a bunch of scumbag Democrats calling up my company every day going, do you have any idea who you hired? You need to fire that guy right away. And then having a SWAT team sent to the fucking bakery because they don't like what I said on YouTube. So, no, you don't get to find out where the fuck I'm working. If you really wanted to do your fucking homework, you could probably figure it out without me saying it. But if I get a remote job with some software company, you'll never be able to figure that out. I'll make sure of that. But anyway, so there's that. I can hear the rain letting up too. I prayed about it. I sat on the edge of the cot this morning and I was like, Lord, please, et cetera, et cetera. Can you make it stop raining? And it's like I can hear it. It's off and on, but it seems like it's going to pass. It seems like, I don't know, I got my raincoat sitting here. I haven't committed to putting it on because it doesn't breathe. So it's only, you only want to wear this raincoat if it's actually raining. Otherwise it's miserable. Especially it's warm out this morning and humid. It would be it's a moisture trap. You'll be wetter. The only thing it's going to protect you from is a downpour. If it's cold, especially if it's cold. But anyway, I'm riding home. I'm having this issue with the speaker. I turn it off. I decide to just relax and get into that frame of mind. And then I'm like, it's kind of a funny story. I really need to do this gratitude thing that I don't always remember to do. It's just 10 things. 5 fingers on this hand, 5 fingers on the other hand. 10. So I went through the list fast. Came up with 10 things to be grateful for fast. Things like the weather, my health, fact I've got 2 reliable bicycles. There was a time in prison I was doing spinning class. Imagine that. You're in federal prison and you're going to spinning class. And it's a room full of fucking spinning bikes. Schwinn, spinning bikes just like you'd see at a gym. And without proper cycling shoes, of course, but whatever. Going to spinning class, and I remember every time I'd be in spinning class, I'd close my eyes and pretend I'm riding a real bicycle and visualize roads in my head and stuff, and just be like, man, I would give anything to be out there doing this on real roads right now. Well, I've got plenty of opportunity to do that now. In the last video segment I ended with all the recreation I'm not getting. I haven't done it. I literally haven't done anything fun since I got out of prison in terms of recreation at all. I can't even think of anything. The things that I came up with were all I could come up with. But at the same time, I was in federal prison going to spinning class at Club Fed. wishing that I could ride a bicycle again and be out on the road and be like free. And now here I am, I'm doing exactly that. And it's not always fun, of course, but I'm thankful that I can do it. And so there were a whole bunch of things, It took no time at all to come up with 10 things to be thankful for. It was quick. And then after, they're sitting right here. So I'm always finding tools on the side of the road. As soon as I came up with the 10 things to be thankful for, this popped up in front of me. This roll of Flex Fix tape. And it's not, you can see from the inner roll, it's not, I don't know why it's all warped and whatnot, but it's not like water damaged. It was just sitting on the side of the road. This could come in handy one of these days. I just figure, why not? Grab it. And then, like 30 feet later, I had to pull over again because there was a pretty decent sized roll of electrical tape just sitting there. I'm like, okay, I'll get some electrical tape here at the roadside Home Depot. And then I go a little bit farther, and there's a freaking utility knife on the side of the road. It needs like a little cleanup, but it's not in bad shape. I just need to take it apart. I have blades for these. I have 2 packs of blades for these already, so all I have to do is change the blade and open it up and just kind of clean it out a little bit. It's a perfectly good utility knife, just sitting on the side of the road. The other day, I've been finding bungee cords that are in perfect condition. I've found screwdrivers. I've got a tool bag for tools that aren't my bike shop tools. And I've found so many tools on the side of the road over the last month or so that I can't even close the bag anymore. I have to get another tool bag just to put the tools that I find on the side of the road. I think that's kind of funny. And I'm like, these things, it's like people, I don't know how people are dropping tools on the side of the road in the same areas over and over again, day after day after day. But it's like this, there's a couple of stretches that I ride my bike through, and every other day there's new stuff waiting on the side of the road to grab. Like, it's fucking weird. It's weird, but I'm going to have a whole toolbox full of tools that I picked up on the side of the road while I was riding my bike. But Saturday, it all happened right after I finished being grateful for the 10 things. I think it was just like a nod from the Lord, like thanking me for thanking him. He's like, hey, you know what? Here's some free tools. And just like scatter them on the side of the road right after I'm done being thankful. And I'm like, I'll take that as you heard me. It's like God's telling me everything's going to be all right. Just be patient. Just a little nod, you know what I mean? Like nothing crazy. But he talks to me. And I'm going to have to wrap this video up because I do have some things to do to get ready here. But I just thought that was funny and ironic that happened. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. I'll finish this up later today. Peace out. What's up, y'all? Taking a chill pill here on the Spring Creek Greenway. This is the view from one of the swing benches. You can sit here, and I got like a 5-mile ride to go home. So I'm just gonna kick it for a few. What's going on? It's your boy Adam. It's a sweaty ride home today, folks, that's for sure. Nice day though. It only really gets I only get sweaty when I stop. In spite of the headwind on the way home, there's a bit of a headwind on the way home today, but It's not really affecting my ride. I'm going pretty fast. I was thinking about just blasting through all the way home, but I just want to stop and chill for a minute. The dumbass situation at the tiny house. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put on some. Put on some shades. I can barely see out of these things. They're covered in sweat. So we'll see what happens here. We got some bikers. Wow. All right. Man, these people from the suburbs. I don't get them. This guy and this girl. Okay, so where the bench is right here. There, I guess you can. I don't know if you can even call this a hill, because I'm from Pittsburgh. So like, it's probably 20 foot in elevation from bottom to top, and it takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds to get from the bottom to the top of this little rise. And hello. And this guy and this girl coming up this, I guess it's a hill. I don't call it a hill because I'm from Pittsburgh and that's hills. This isn't, there's no hill. I haven't seen a hill in Houston anywhere yet. So, but this is like a little bit of a slowdown. I don't know what you call it. You go up like 25 feet. It's not that far. It's just a little turn. It's a turn on the bike trail that goes up a little bit, levels out, and then kind of goes down a little bit. And this guy and this girl are coming up the hill, and this girl is like dying. Like it's the hardest thing she's ever done in her life. And they get over right here where I'm sitting on the swing, this bench, and she drops her bike on the ground, and she's like, oh. And so they take a break, like right in front of me, where I'm sitting here trying to talk to all you guys and gals, and they're just like, I don't know, 10 feet in front of me, just chilling, taking their break. I'm like, all right, it's a public park, you know. Well, she's wearing yoga pants, and now she's like bending over right in front of me and doing all these yoga stretches. And I'm like, yeah, all right, take your time. Take your time. Do what you got to do. I'll sit here and enjoy the view. And they hung out for a little bit and went on their merry way. These people from the suburbs, man. Psh. They're just not my crowd. That's all it is. I gotta get me a drink of water. It's definitely in the 80s. I don't know what the temperature is. I don't think it's 90 yet. I don't think we're there. Mid 80s. Humid, a little bit humid today. I felt it when I walked outside, but it wasn't like, I love the heat. I like riding my bike when it's hot out. In fact, the hotter it is, the better I like it. When it gets up to like 110, okay, now we might have a little bit of a problem, but not usually. All of my most enjoyable cycling experiences have been going on long distance bike rides in the thick of the hottest part of summer. July, sometimes August. Like those are all my favorite bicycle adventures have been in the hottest parts of the year. Hot. It's just, I don't know. I don't like being cold, man. That's the thing. I definitely don't like being cold. I would rather be out in 110 degree heat with 98% humidity than 40 degrees and having to wear a coat. Any day. Any day. Don't like the cold. I will always pick the heat over the cold. There's one thing about Houston that I like is the weather so far. You know, we have our cold days here, but I don't know. It's probably still winter in Jamestown. I know last year, a year ago, let's see, it's April 21st. Yeah. Shit, it was still snowing. There were still days that I was waking up and seeing snow everywhere outside. Ah. I mean, you'd get like some warm-ish days, warm for up there, like in the 50s, maybe, 65 today. Wow, that's a heat wave up there. Down here, that's cold. So it's a totally different world down here, but, you know, it is a weird place because it's a tropical climate, but the trees, it feels like I'm back up north in terms of the foliage and the kinds of trees that you see, and so it feels like regular woods. It's just hot. But we haven't really hit, you know, it's still April. So, you know, we'll talk in July. We'll see how hot it gets. But it don't bother me out on the bike. The bike, when you're on a bicycle and it's hot, you got wind, you have airflow. And that does a wonder to cool you off. It does a lot of good, you know, it just makes, the airflow makes a huge difference. And that's one of the cool things about cycling when it's hot outside. It's one of the sports that you can do when it's hot outside. And, it's not anywhere near like running and stuff. I mean, I remember playing Ultimate Frisbee in the summer league at Pittsburgh, and the places that we'd play, these big wide open soccer fields, and we'd have to bring easy up tents or easy up canopies just to have shade and get out of the sun while we played. And we'd play 2-3 games a day on a Saturday. And there were times, I mean, Pittsburgh gets hot. It gets just as hot in Pittsburgh as it does in Florida. That's the thing people don't understand. It's just it also gets as cold in Pittsburgh as Anchorage, Alaska. That's one thing about the mid-Atlantic, northeast, but the mid-Atlantic states have 4 seasons. Hot. And it gets, in the middle of summer, in the middle of July, it's going to be just as hot up there as it will be in Miami at times. Sometimes it's even hotter. And in the winter, there's times it's colder than Anchorage, Alaska. And so you can experience all the weather up there. And so we'd be playing Ultimate Frisbee. It would be 97 degrees outside. Dying. Dying. I would take 2 gallons of ice water and run out. Come home, I'd have to take like 5 or 6 jerseys, and they'd all be completely soaked. I'd put them in a plastic bag to bring them home. It would smell. Oh, it would smell. The smell of that bag after it got home and just sat in the laundry basket for an overnighter was, it's a smell you'd never forget. I don't know. Can I put these on? The sun's a little bit bright right now, but yeah, though I like the weather here. I hate the drivers, man. On my way here, part of the reason why I wanted to just sit and chill, 2 reasons. I was cooking along. I was having a good ride. I was zipping along at about 20-25 miles an hour. And I'm just about out of the woodlands, and I thought to myself, wow, nobody's honked at me yet today. And right as soon as I said that, I spoke too soon. Some fucking asshole in a car, some piece of shit suburban woodlands asshole, pulls up beside me, rolls down his passenger window, tries swerving into me, and starts calling me a fucking asshole, telling me, I hope you fucking die, you fucking scumbag, and all this shit. And I'm just flicking him off. I'm screaming and yelling at him back. I think I am going to have to... I'm going to have to put the GoPro camera back on my helmet. I hate wearing it. It puts too much weight on my head, and it throws the balance of the helmet off, and the helmet starts to flop around, and it's not comfortable at all. I do have a chest strap that I can wear the GoPro around my chest. That might be a better option. But I'm going to have to dig that thing up or buy one on Amazon if I can't find it. The chest strap might be a better option. Plus, it would give me access to see if the camera is still recording. When it's on my head, it's not, I don't know. Having a lamp, having the headlight mounted to my helmet is bad enough. There's a difference when I take that thing off. Plus, I don't like this helmet. That's one thing I wish I had done different when I moved to Houston. I had to buy all kinds of stuff. I had to buy a helmet, had to buy shoes, had to buy a lock, had to buy some parts, had to buy tires, had to buy tubes, like tools, all kinds of stuff. I spent like $300-400 after I got a job so that I could put a bicycle together and start commuting to my job. And I probably should have spent an extra $75 to $100 and got a high-end helmet, because this helmet just doesn't do it for me. It's not comfortable. It doesn't fit quite right. It's too loose side to side. I mean, it's good enough, but if anything, when I get settled, when I figure some things out, put it that way, I'll talk about, the things I'm going to talk about later. When all that shakes out, I'm getting me a better helmet. Then I could mount a helmet cam. They make helmet cams that aren't as big. There's lots of different options there, but it might make sense to start recording my bicycle rides like I was before. And just like, I swear, if I recorded my bike rides 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm doing it 4 times a week or more. Right now I'm working at the bakery 2 days a week, so I can do my freelance work. If I record 1, 2, 3, 4, if I record 4 rides, if I did this for 2 weeks, I'd have 15 minutes at least of footage of me getting into road rage fights with drivers. You'd see how big of scumbags these fucking people are. Because like the dude today. Really? You got nothing better to do than pull up next to a cyclist that I'm in the right-hand lane. I'm in the right side of the right-hand lane. He was in the left lane. He could have easily passed me, but he had to come up, pull up beside me, swerve into me, roll down the passenger side window, and start screaming and yelling at me. Death threats. Fucking death threats. Fuck you, you fucking asshole, you fucking piece of shit. I hope you die, and all this other shit. And I'm like, I hope you die, you fucking scumbag. Like, what the fuck are these? What the fuck is your problem, Houston? What the fuck is your problem? Why are you the most batshit crazy assholes I've ever seen in my life on the road? And I've been all over America. I've been, honestly, the only place I've ever been that could even compete with this in terms of crazy on the roads is Puerto Rico. And there weren't as many assholes on the road in Puerto Rico. It was just craziness. Here, it's like just one scumbag after the next, and I fucking hate all of you. I mean, I don't hate everybody I've met in Houston. I've met some good people here. But when I'm on the road, there are so many fucking pieces of shit. I'm just like dumbfounded by it. So I had to take a break. I got 5 more miles. There's like a couple more miles of this bike trail, and then I get to chillax. And while I don't get to chillax, I get to ride another 4 miles, I think it is. I don't know the exact number to get home. That stretch isn't as bad. I swear to God, the Woodlands, the people that live in this Woodlands suburb are the biggest scumbags in Houston. But it matches right up with what I always say. When you travel, especially by bicycle, you will find the people that live in the suburbs are the biggest scumbags everywhere you go. They're assholes to you. When you're on a bicycle and out on the roads, the number of douchebags versus regular people that you will encounter, I really can't go 4 miles without having a road rage encounter with some suburban scumbag. But when you go into the city, into Houston, you get honked at once in a while, it happens, but you're not surrounded by fucking dick bags. When you're in the suburbs, it's fucking horrible. And it just, like, if I had the money to live in the Woodlands, it would be the last place on earth I would want to live. Just surrounded by these fucking scumbags and this fucking cunt Karen walking around trying to make me pay a fine to the HOA because I got the wrong color fucking garbage can or whatever, you fucking cunt. Fuck you. Just fuck off. Stay away from me. Seriously, I'm fucking sick of you people. Fucking hate you fucking suburban. And they're just as bad on the bike trail. I rode the bike trail this morning. As soon as I got to the Woodlands, I hopped on the bike trail because I was just kind of like, man, I just want to mellow out, ride through the woods, just something different. Put some variety in it. I wasn't in a big hurry. I ended up making a wrong turn, or I missed a turn, and it ended up going like 4 miles extra because I figured it out, and then I'm like, oh, crap. And it kind of screwed me a little bit, but it all worked out. But I can't tell you how many bitch-ass cunt Karen joggers, Karen from the Woodlands, were out on this fucking bike trail, and they get all shitty with you when you're coming, and it's a bicycle and jogging trail. So I have every right to be on there, just like I have every right to be on the road. But every single one of these suburban cunts is like, get off my trail, It's like, go to hell, you fucking twat. I'm fucking sick of these fucking suburban cunts. And the men are just as bad. They're just a bunch of fucking assholes. I can't stand the fucking Woodlands people at all. This is this whole society of assholes who think they're better than everybody, and they think they're like royalty or some shit, the way they act. And I'm like, and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna stop it there. But when I get off of this bike trail, I'm on the other side of Spring Creek, and it's basically a different part of the city. It's a different suburb, but it's more, it's a little bit more of the city vibe in terms of the roads. I don't encounter as many, I mean, I do encounter assholes along that stretch. It's still the suburbs, but the frequency goes way down when I come out the other side of this park that I'm in right now. But on the Woodlands side, oh my God, it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. It's getting so fucking old. And then the other thing, the landlord starts calling me again. Or not call, well, he called me, sent me a bunch of texts while I was at work. I texted him back. Now he's telling me he bought a water heater. He says it's really big. So maybe it's bigger than the 6-gallon one that he was talking about getting. If it's at least 20 gallons, that'll be fine. But anyway, he said he wanted to know Well, he said he wasn't going to be able to get anybody to come over and install it until April 30th. And he wasn't going to be able to do it until April 30th. And here it's the April 21st. So like 9 more fucking days without a shower, without a sink, without a hot water faucet. You know, February 1st, it never worked. And so yeah, and then he started talking about maybe getting someone over here this week to do it. I'm like, whatever, dude. At this point, like, I'm working on something. This might not even matter by the time it's all said and done. I gotta make some phone calls tomorrow and throughout the week, and just waiting for some things to happen. And I'm just trying. Well, I'm not gonna say anymore. One thing I've noticed since I've been in, the videos that you're watching today are, I don't even know what day it was last week. It was probably Wednesday, and today is Monday. So there's a 5-day delay between when I film the videos that you're watching today and when you're watching them. So today's video might not show up for 5, 6 days, maybe 7 days. I don't know. I'm just putting them in order and setting it up so that I have a video every day. Seems to be working pretty good for a number of different reasons. And there's a bunch of, I'm doing it on purpose for a few different reasons. The algorithm seems to like it better. I make more money off of the ads because there's more regular visitors. But one thing I've noticed just in the last few days, because the videos that I'm putting up there are when I'm in that funk, all these fucking trolls are popping back up. All the trolls that would show up every day and shit on the channel because I was homeless, they're all coming back now. Like, you fucking, it's like Satan's little fucking demons coming to try and poke at the bear when he's down. And it's just like, you're all a bunch of fucking scumbags. You fucking douchebag trolls. I don't even know why I'm talking about you, because a lot of the conventional wisdom on YouTube is don't respond to them, don't talk about them, don't acknowledge that they exist. And I'm just saying that, like, no matter who you are, if you want to put up some video, if you want to start doing YouTube, or you want to start doing anything where you're going to put your face out in the public, be prepared. There's going to be people that hate you no matter what you do, no matter what you say. And in fact, when you're down, that's when they're going to come out. I've noticed the views have gone up. It's like as soon as you're having a bad week, as soon as you're down on your luck a little bit, all these fucking douchebags want to come out and party with you. Or they want to come out and party on the channel. They want to leave their douchey comments and start. Like, these people were nowhere to be found when I found a fucking place to live and things started to go well. As soon as I take a few steps backwards, they're back. All of them. All these fucking scumbags that would leave these dumbass comments every single fucking day I was homeless, they're all popping back up now. And I'm like, wow, you fucking retards have nothing better to do than sift through the bowels of YouTube looking for someone who's having a bad time so that you can jump into their channel and be an asshole. I'm fine with it. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, I'm not, I'm the guy who went to federal prison for being an internet troll. So to sit here and say, I would never do such a thing is bullshit. But it cracks me up that people just It's no different than when you're in a traffic jam on the highway for 10 miles and you're like, what in the hell is going on? And then you find out there's an accident on the opposite side of the highway. You're going southbound. There's an accident in the northbound lanes. There's nothing blocking the southbound side of the highway. Yet there's a traffic jam 10 miles long. Why? Because a bunch of fucking dickbags had to slow down to a crawl so that they could look over and see the carnage and see the accident over there, because people love to see other people's misery. People go to auto races to see crashes. They don't go to auto races to see winners. They don't give a fuck who won the race. They're just there to see someone. You know, back in the 60s, Formula One drivers would get in a crash and they'd burn alive in their car after it caught on fire. And people were like, well, fuck, I'm never going to miss another race. And, you know, in an IndyCar race a while back, a tire came off of a car in a crash, took like 3 bounces, hit a driver in the head and took his head off. And, you know, that's why people go to watch these races. They don't go to watch skilled drivers go around a track fast and somebody crosses the finish line first. They're going because they want to see someone get killed. They want to see death. They want to see burning rubber. They want to see a pile up. They want to see a crash. They want to see a race official run out onto the track and get run over by a car going 200 miles an hour. That's what they're paying for the tickets for. They're not going to see a race. They're going to see a crash. And I can prove it. I guarantee you, if shit starts going well again and I have good news for, you know, to share with my viewers about what's going on, and if, you know, maybe in a couple of weeks I'll have something good going on, all these trolls will disappear because they got nothing to shit on. They don't got a train wreck to come and watch. They'll disappear for a while. And then maybe if I'm having a bad week and I start talking about some adversity that I'm going through, oh, now we got him. Now I'm going to leave a shitty comment on your YouTube channel. Fuck you. I'm so sick of you fucking retards. But, you know, whatever. Every comment that you leave, every view that you give the channel puts money in my bank account. So fuck you, I don't care. Keep coming. Keep them coming. It cracks me up, though. It cracks me up. Busy day at the bakery today. Ooh, boy. You know, 20-mile ride to work. Now, here's something. Here's something that's kind of funny to talk about. I was talking about this morning in my lounge chair. Crappy lounge chair that, you know, Jesus says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move this way or that, or you can cast it into the sea and it will obey you. And I keep saying, you know, my faith isn't anywhere even close to the enormous size of a mustard seed, but I do have this ability to ask God to take the rain away whenever I need to go on a bike ride. And I have to go on the bike ride. I haven't gone on a bike ride for fun since I got out of prison. Not one time. Not one time did I just get on my bike and go, oh, I'm going on a bike ride for fun. No, I'm going. That's my transportation. That's my version of getting in the car and having to drive somewhere. It's not fun. It's necessity. So it's still exercise. It's still, you know, I enjoy it sometimes. I enjoy it today, even though the dickbag told me he hopes I die. Fucking piece of shit from the Woodlands. You know, even though I got a death threat on my way home, you know, that's fine. You know, the rich assholes in the Woodlands can threaten me with death. And they're not going to go to federal prison for 2 years. In fact, it's not an interstate threat, I guess, and it's not threatening a federal officer, so there's no federal charges that could be brought up against them. Maybe if I was black, it could be a hate crime. But since I'm a white guy, you can threaten to kill white guys all day long, and I don't even think that's a crime. But anyway, and he was white too, so it couldn't be a hate crime. But I didn't have too many. Well, I had the jogger bitches yelling at me this morning on the bike trail. So it's like you can't ride the road without dealing with them. You can't ride the bike path without dealing with them. They're everywhere. And and so I get to the bakery today, and it's delivery day. So I'm lifting. I spent half the day. 3,000 pounds of flour and sugar and brown sugar and powdered sugar alone. Aside from everything else, I probably lifted 10 to 15,000 pounds worth of boxes today when you add it all up. And then I took a break, ate a big ass cookie, and then I spent the afternoon making cheesecake. I made some bomb-ass cheesecake. A lot of cheesecake. I made a lot of cheesecake today. And then, what else did I do? I don't even remember. I remember doing some dishes. Oh, we have these stainless steel tables that are all falling apart because it's, not being sexist, but women, it's I'm like one of the only guys there, so all the tables have become wobbly. All the screws and bolts and everything holding everything together is loosening up, and you know how it is with women and tools. They don't get along, and so they're like, Adam, you're the man. You got to come over here and fix this for us. And I'm like, I'll do some man shit. Yeah, I'd rather do that than a lot of other things. So I pulled these tables apart and had some tools in my bicycle bag, and also they have a handful of tools there, but not what you need. But I was able to kind of make it work, and I was able to take this one table that was all falling apart, and now that table is solid. That table is sturdy. It's all perfectly level. The wheels aren't falling off anymore. And it's all good to go, and it's probably going to last. They're going to go 5 years before they have a problem with that table now. And now there's like 3 other big-ass stainless steel tables that are all wobbly and have problems. And and I was like, let's just do one at a time, because I was running out of time. It was getting around that time to go home, and I didn't want to have a table half taken apart in the middle of fixing it and tightening it up and giving it basically giving it a tune-up, for lack of a better word. And but that's what we do. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to go into a chick's place or a chick's business who may have been my significant other, with a toolbox, and just start fixing all the stuff. Like, how did you let this thing get to the point it is? Like, don't you know how to use a wrench to tighten this bolt? That kind of stuff. And so, but that's what I was doing today. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm in a relationship, because I'm not, but it kind of felt like I was today, with the having to walk around some chick's apartment fixing all her broken stuff because I'm a man and she don't know how to do it herself. And that was kind of fun. It was something different to do today. So I lifted 15,000 pounds of shit, made cheesecake. I'm talking cheesecake with 26 pounds of cream cheese went into this cheesecake. And then all the other ingredients, use your imagination. 23, yeah, it was like 26 pounds of cheesecake. or 26 pounds of cream cheese to start with. So imagine how much cheesecake you can make with 26 pounds of cream cheese. It's a lot of cheesecake. But it came out perfect. Once again, nobody tried to micromanage me today, though. They came over, a couple people came over, because, you know, they don't, the people that are there today, they all trust me. So I didn't have any of that micromanagement stuff that I was talking about, where people want to stand over my shoulder and tell me how to melt butter. Like, people would come over and give me some tips and whatnot, but I'm like, I got this. I know what it's supposed to look like. I know how it's supposed to be. I know how I've used. See, the thing is, I've said a couple of times that I've used big mixers like this before, and I have experience with these things, and I know how to do this. And it's not the first time I've used them at the bakery either. But there's a lot of people that do the mixing work, and and so there's always other things for me to do. So I don't do it very often here at the bakery. But I don't want to get asked the question, so how do you have all this experience using these big industrial mixers? And I don't want to have to say, well, I used to, you know, bake cakes for 400 inmates in a prison, making 75 cents an hour. So, which I didn't do very often. I didn't do the bakery gig at the prison I mean, I had to do a little bit of everything, but my biggest jobs at the prison were mostly cooking. Either cooking for the inmates or doing prep cook. Like, imagine how long it takes to chop 50 pounds of onions into diced without a food processor and a dull knife. A dull knife that's held to a table by a cable. A steel cable, so that you can't walk away with it, take it back to your jail cell and stab somebody with it. But, you know, I mean, it's about as dull as a fucking butter knife anyway. Imagine trying to cut 50 pounds of onions with a dull knife that's chained to a table. But I would do it, get through them, cube up potatoes. Fuck, man. But I would also cook for the police, the guards, which would give me access to better food, so I could make all kinds of good stuff for myself. So, you know, while the rest of the jail is eating mystery meat patties and dog shit, with a side of dog shit, I was getting to eat, you know, I made Italian sausages today, or I made meatball pizzas today, or, you know, I'd do all kinds of cool stuff. And all the guards liked the stuff that I would cook. We had a few good cooks that cooked for the police, and some of them were, you know, there were a few that did some really crazy stuff, like in terms of just being able to work with nothing and make some really cool stuff. I did learn a lot of cool tricks from some of these people. But, you know, I had some solid dishes too, and I was good at it. And so they, you know, it was a nice job to have. That was my weekend gig at the jail, was cooking for the pigs. And you know, but then I would get to eat whatever I was cooking for them instead of the slop that's getting sent out to the rest of the jail. And during the week, the other guy that would cook for the pigs would hook me up with whatever he was making that day. And we would make all kinds of crazy stuff. We'd sit there and make General Tso's chicken. We would make all kinds of Asian dishes. Sweet and sour chicken, General Tso's chicken, jerk chicken, all kinds of crazy. I learned how to do all kinds of crazy shit at that place. Cooking with nothing too, because, you know, the facilities and the equipment. I mean, that kitchen was so disgusting. It looked like the bathroom in the Saw movie. You know, and it was probably dirtier than after the dude in the Saw movie cut off his arm. I swear to God, the first time I walked into that kitchen, I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking for the little doll with the spirals on its cheeks telling me, asking me if I want to play a game, because I thought I was in the fucking bathroom where they filmed the movie. And no, it's the kitchen. That's a kitchen. Holy shit. Wow. But, you know, I don't like talking about that. So I'm like, yeah, I know how to use these big mixers. Let's change the subject. We don't need to talk about where I worked and how I got that experience, but I have it. So, but anyway, that was my day today. I'm just chilling. The sun feels nice. It just feels nice to sit on the swing and relax for a bit. And I'm going to take another drink of water, get back on the bike, and head out of here. And, I don't know. I feel a hell of a lot better than I did in the video that you're watching today. And some of you were even pointing out in the comments that I've read so far on today's video that you could tell I was in a better frame of mind. I think the video you're watching today is when I got my hair did, and that really helped a lot. Like, it cooled off my hot head by about 30 degrees, and so I'm still not feeling great, and I'm still here's how I'm thinking about it. In fact, I was listening to a podcast this morning that hit the nail on the head. It was like a 10-minute podcast. And when I made that wrong turn, or missed my turn, I didn't make a wrong turn, I missed a turn because I was on the bike path and didn't see where I was supposed to turn. And I ended up going like 4 extra miles. Well, when I got back on track, when I crossed the line to where I'm now back on where I'm supposed to be, the podcast that I was listening to ended at that moment. And so it was almost like I made this wrong turn, let's call it a wrong turn, and went on this excursion just to listen to this 10, 15-minute podcast. And the guy was talking about, I think his name is Kyle Cease, and I'm kind of like, he's one of these new age kind of, you know, I don't know what I don't know the word I want to use for it, but he's one of these people who, he kind of talks about God and how God works, but he always replaces God. A lot of these people will replace the word God with the universe. The universe wants you to do this, or when you go the direction the universe wants you to go, the universe will give you what you want. And it's like, because they just want to water down the message, and they don't believe in God, and they think which is kind of weird at this point. If you don't believe in God, but you believe that the universe is the universe itself is a personality and has feelings and has desires for you. No, it's God. But a lot of these people will replace the word God with the universe. So when I'm listening to someone like that talk, I just switch it in my mind. Whenever they say universe, I'm like, oh, he's talking about God. And he was saying that sometimes, well, he started out, he was like, you know, sometimes you're in a bad relationship and you can see that this relationship is bad. Maybe a year in advance. Maybe you just know this relationship is not the right one for you, but you keep holding on to it and you keep trying to make it work. And, you know, every time you try and make it work, you come to the conclusion that it's no good and that you got to get away from it. But for whatever reason, you don't want to let go of it. And he had like some other analogy that he put with that. And I can't remember exactly how he put it, but that was like how he was describing all this stuff. And then he was like expanding on that. And he was like, you know, maybe God, the universe, but maybe God's working on something that's going to improve your life. And you just need to sit the fuck down and accept it instead of trying to fight against it. And so in my case, the way I heard that, it was like, you know, maybe God has a better place for you to go live. And maybe it wasn't ready yet. when you found this tiny house, maybe the place that God had in mind wasn't available, or it just wasn't the right time. So maybe God triggered all these events in motion to force me to go to another place and be happy and be in a better place and be in a better neighborhood without a bunch of loud ass traffic on the road and without a slumlord. I'm not going to call him a landlord, a slumlord that won't fix the hot water in 3 months. And all this other, there's a whole bunch of other shit that goes with living where I live, that if I made a list, it would take me 20 minutes to read the list right now. And so that's kind of what I was hearing when this podcast was playing. It was like, you know what? Just sit back, let God do his thing. He might be putting you through some stress right now, but maybe he wants you to let go of something that you're holding on to because he's got something better for you if you would just sit down, shut the fuck up, and let it happen. And so instead of getting all mad about it, I could be like, I could get excited about it because it means that I'm about to get an upgrade. And, all the things that I can't stand about where I'm living right now, there's a chance that that could be fixed quicker than I was expecting it to be fixed. And so that's kind of what, and there were some other signs and some other things that happened over the weekend that, due to the bicycling and due to the job today, I don't have the ability or the time to do anything about. But starting tomorrow, I have 4 days to see what happens. And they could be a very interesting 4 days. Things happen sometimes in the blink of an eye that change everything about what you're dealing with. And so while the tiny house was cool at first, and I feel like God put it in my lap because I needed something. But maybe God is like, psst, I got something better for you. I got something better for you. Just calm down, dude. Yeah, it sucks what this guy's doing and what he's putting you through and all this and that and the other thing. But maybe that is going to play in your favor very soon. In maybe 10 different ways that could play in my favor. So yeah, it's stressful right now. And there are things that I'm trying to get done that are extremely difficult to get done while this is going on. Mental things. Jobs that I have to think about and focus on are hard to do right now. It's no different than trying to play soccer with a broken leg or ride a bicycle. Can't ride a bicycle with a broken leg. So it's kind of the same thing. I'm limping when I sit down to do my mental gymnastics and my mental work. It's hard. But, I can say it's easier. It'll be easier tomorrow than it was last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, I was off the rails. I was completely off the reservation. I've had about a week to calm down, talk to various people, make plans, explore opportunities, and just try to make the situation better. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I'm probably saying enough. Use your imagination. But there's There's 4 specific things that I can talk about at some point. 5. 5 things are in the works. And it could all come together to be an insanely funny story. It could be, I was talking about it at work today, and they were just like, whoa. If all 5 of those things take place simultaneously, let's just say that it would make the day that they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima seem like a nice sunny day in Japan. In comparison to what somebody's going to be feeling that day. But otherwise, I'm just going to, keep on keeping on. And with that, I'm going to let you go. Peace out.